Hello, this is part two of episode four spoiler review. So, um, at the end of the episode, well, the start of the episode, there's a terrorist attack at the Blue House and lights go out. And it's a really big thing. What they find on the servers is that there's a video that shows him being fired. So we rewind that, and Cha Young, you know, Cha Young, the opposition chairwoman, uh, finds out about it. At first, everybody's like, don't talk to her really about it because she's going to use it against you. He says, you know what, since it's national security, it'll put her in a corner because if she tells, she looks like an asshole. So he tells her, and she then goes on to tell the reporter about it. At the same time, well, and she uses it to get an exclusive interview. What is assumed, because there's a undercut of it. Hannah, or Hannah Wills, depending on how you want to say it, that is the American counterpart. She basically starts investigating things because she goes and interviews the Mr. O about where he was and everything else. And, he says he's in the Senate with everybody else, but he's found outside the Senate. So they go over the video, which they find off a dead person, not the original video, and they find that a minute something is gone. So it's basically a loop, what's shown. And that's when they find out that he was gone and he left. Now, why would he leave in the middle of a speech? As she says it, or her conclusion is that he obviously knew this was going to happen. And he's part of the terrorist attack. Now she has to go on and figure out why he did it and to prove basically what is this plot. What is connections and everything. This is basically similar to what the original storyline was for the designated survivor in the United States. So obviously when I say spoilers, I mean spoilers for the original designated survivor. So if you get like, there's a whole lot of other like Korean-centric stuff in there, so don't worry about that. What you do find is that we're shooting back to the interview, and everything looks good. Everything's fine. Everything seems like it's working, and then at the very last second, she turns to him and asks him point blank, was he fired? And they write on his teleprompter, don't. And it takes a minute, and he finally answers yes. They say before the interview, you telling the truth, that's going to be an issue for you. Not everybody needs to know what's going on in your head, And, he's like, well, my truth will guide me. And, yeah. Yeah, it does. So we're left with a country questioning if he is a valid president. So the army guy, even though he's been told, because they find out who it is, and it's a North Korean defector. Well, not necessarily defector, but he was thrown out from the country because they're military first, and they decided not to do it. And the army guys wanted to almost do a coup in the country, and so they threw him out in Cambodia. Now, Cambodia doesn't want to go in, and they're not getting the sanction to go in. So he's saying, we're not going to go in unless the country allows us to go in. We're not going to be that. And they're pissed off because like this, we have a counter, we have a thing for that. And, our country, United States, did that in Pakistan to get Osama bin Laden. we kind of mentioned, but we kind of didn't. So, there's gray lines to it, and yes, it's important to get, terrorists out of countries, but, you have to respect people's laws. And so he's leaving after he finds out about this, saying, "Oh, strike team, go! Strike team, go! We're gonna do it. I'm not recognizing him as my president." And it's going to develop, and the episode for the next one basically goes straight off from that and goes into the funeral. And I will see you later. I'm gonna go watch it now and see what happens. I got 5th episode and 6th episode to watch, and I will try to get the reviews done by the end of the week. And watch me on Twitch, and please help me be able to watch more and pay for Netflix to watch it on Patreon. Remember, both keywords are Foxybrownjr, and the link is down below. Thank you.